Welcome back to the Wheel of Stream, the nightmare wheel that holds only terrible things, or sometimes good things. You never know. That's the whole point. They're games that I know nothing about. We have a couple of entries donated by Joe to torment us. In pink, Unreadable is yet another zombie defense game, shortened to yet another Zomboner there. It's all very legible. In blue, we have Gunhouse. In green, the Hat Man, written here as Hatman, the Disney's The Hat Man. In orange, Nom Nom Apocalypse, and in red, Kyle is famous. The wheel says we must play. Oh my god, it's actually happening. We're playing Kyle is famous. It's been on the wheel for so long. I was hoping never to have it happen. You know the rules, and so do I. When we play the Wheel of Stream, a timer is in the upper left-hand corner. If this game can entertain myself and you for 1 full hour, then it's a winner. If it doesn't, that's kind of a loser. Keep my webcam on to prevent Abe Clancy from burning my stuff. We're safe. My webcam's on pretty often when we're streaming. Yeah, he might go for my cheese block. Or maybe an item in the living room or something. Alright, let's see what Kyle is famous is all about. Kyle wakes up. He is famous. Kyle is host of the most popular talk show in recent memory, Stay Up Late with Kyle. Stay Up Late with Kyle has grown in popularity quickly in the last year, and the public has noticed. Inside has called Kyle a most excellent dumpy white man. Top Tech noted that Kyle is inspiring youth to explore STEM fields. Most other talk shows are dedicated to discussing Kyle and his personal details. Most online videos are best of clips taken from Kyle's latest broadcast. The eye of the world is upon Kyle. Tonight is Kyle's most important guest interview yet. Stay Up Late with Kyle will be featuring Rachel May. She is a kind and lovely philanthropist. She is dear to the hearts of many. This interview requires preparation. Kyle cracked his eyes open, knowing today is his last chance to prepare for the interview. Kyle has 30 hours left. He must choose his actions wisely. Kyle's first decision in the morning was made wisely. Wither away or exit the bed. Alright, chat. Oh my god. Oh my god. I wonder if I could try and put together the heat map real fast. I might pause the timer and try and put together the heat map so chat can drive our decisions. Quick, chat. Do you think we should try and have chat drive the decisions? Make a decision for me, quick. Exit the bed. Kyle exited his bed and took a quick glance around his bedroom. You want me to try and put together heat map real fast? Alright. Alright. We're going to pause the timer. And we're going to do our best to make heat map work. I wish this game had music. I'm already, like, antsy because it's so quiet. Kyle exited his bed and took a quick glance around his room. Open the closet, sit at desk, exit bedroom to hallway, scavenge. Scavenge. Kyle quickly crouched down on the floor, realizing his immediate need for bugs, gossip, or going back to his bedroom. Well, ooh. Gossip. I'm gonna go by, like, the first few things that show up in screen there, I'll jump for. Kyle firmly pressed his ear into the carpet, hoping to hear some stray words from the neighbors down below. I heard Rachel May's going on a trip out of the country soon. Oh, girlfriend, tell me more. Well, what I will tell you is that every night I don a mask that looks like a bug, and I fight misdoers. Establish a number system, like 1 starting from the top right, going clockwise around. I mean, we're only going to play this for an hour or less. But I do want to make heat maps work for the future, so I'll set that up, and ideally that'll be ready for next time we have a choice-based experience. There was a stunned silence, then a door opened and someone exited the neighbor's apartment. Kyle turned to the center of the bedroom. What's this? I don't know what this means. This is, in fact, the Pandora actor experience. Desk. Sit at desk. Alright, Kyle made his way over to his desk and sat down. Write notes for interview, go back to the room, or check in the desk drawer. So basically, like, the first word I see that's related to one of these answers, I'll go for. Drawer. Kyle opened up the side drawer on his desk and grabbed one of the items stored there. Small key, assorted change, back to desk. Maybe there's a gun, you never know. I'm gonna take the small key. Kyle grabbed the small key he kept in his desk. Kyle made his way over to his desk and sat down. Write notes, back to room, check in desk drawer. Well, we just did the drawer, right? Maybe he opens a safe that has a gun. Ah! Back to room. Kyle returned to the center of the bedroom. Open the closet, sit at desk. Exit bedroom to hallway, scavenge. So we've scavenged already, we sat at the desk already. I'm gonna go for closet, personally. Kyle opened the closet. It was dark and he could only really see his hanging shirts. Scavenge for gun. There was no gun when we scavenged before. Choose an outfit. I'm gonna go for choose an outfit. Kyle decided to take some time to choose the perfect outfit, knowing how important appearance is. Alright, we have jeans and swimming goggles. Skunk pasties. Slick suit. Suit of armor. Yeah, I'm gonna find out what pasties are. Kyle chose the pasties made out of mashed skunk flesh. Well, getting the slimy garments to stay proved difficult, so Kyle opted to stick them to his body with hot glue. Kyle returned to the center of the bedroom. I'm going back to the closet. Damn, it won't let me put on another outfit. Alright, so we've done desk, we've opened the closet, and we scavenged. His immediate need for bugs. Kyle started to pick between the fuzz of his bedroom carpet, hoping to catch a stray beetle or two. Yeah, they're nipple covers. Soon he had a small handful of various insects, dead and alive. Alright, are we going to eat the bugs or save the bugs for later? Because we might need them. We might need the bugs later. In this horrifyingly quiet game. Alright, we're going to save the bugs for later. Kyle stashed the wriggling mass for later use. Let's exit bedroom to hallway, because we've completed the other ones here. Kyle walked into the small hallway that connects the rooms of his apartment together. We can check the locked door, leave the apartment, move to the kitchen, and return to bedroom. Now, we do have a key. So I think we want to check out this locked door, right? This dude is part sloth, part snail. Kyle walked over to the strange door in the hallway, but found quickly that the door was locked from the inside. But we have a key! Do we force the door with our forehead, or go back to the hallway? I don't know what the yellow indicates. I am curious about that. We only have 4 hours left until the interview. Alright, force the door. Decided it would be best to try to force the door open with the use of his face. Yeah, it might be new area. After smashing his features into solid wood for several minutes, Kyle gained severe short-term amnesia. Kyle walked into the small hallway that connects the rooms of his apartment together. Good moan time. We have 1 hour left until the interview. Oh god. You gotta go to the kitchen. Kyle walked to the center of the kitchen. Alright, pantry, fridge, hallway. I mean, probably check the fridge first. Ellipses. Kyle hurried to the set. Oh, because we ran out of time. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. Good evening, Kyle, she said, looking him in the eye. I've been looking forward to being here. Kyle responded. Forget her name from amnesia. Well, we have no choice in the matter. We forget her name. Hello, you? Kyle's ears began to ring from his concussion. Rachel looked at Kyle, slightly confused, but continued smiling. Before she noticed the glazed look in Kyle's eyes, the producer approached. Time to get started, he said, putting a hand on Kyle's shoulder. Let's get stationed. Kyle sat in the nearest chair. Rachel, her seat stolen, sat in the host chair. Why is her... Oh, because we took her chair. Yes, music! A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. "Good morning, everyone," said Kyle. "My name is, Kyle made a desperate effort to remember his name, or really, anything at all. Kyle looked at Rachel. "Do you know who I am?" he asked. Rachel looked back, confused. "Who are you? Well, if you're not Kyle, I don't know who you are," Rachel smiled sweetly. Kyle made up his mind that he was probably Kyle. "Well, he said. "I'm Kyle." A long silence followed. Eventually, Rachel spoke again. "I'm Rachel. Hi, everyone." She waved. "Hi, Rachel," said Kyle. "So why are you here?" Rachel was visibly worried. "Ha ha, funny," she said. "Were you planning on asking me any questions?" "I mean, I don't have any ideas," said Kyle. Kyle kept staring at Rachel. Someone coughed. Kyle looked around and noticed the crew. "Who on earth are all of you?" he asked. Nobody answered. Kyle got out of his chair and walked off frame, leaving Rachel alone with millions of viewers. Rachel started to attempt to entertain the audience herself. Eventually, the producer ended the broadcast early due to technical difficulties. Kyle woke up in his bed the next day, remembering nothing about what happened. Kyle forgot everything. Well, we got ending 1 out of 25 of that go around. Reset. We're gonna wither away. Kyle decided to stay put and wither away. Kyle withered away successfully and died. Aw, shucks. Kyle's now a ghost. Oh, that's going. It's still going. This does not relieve him of his responsibilities. Kyle exited his bed and took a quick glance around his bedroom. Well, shit, I really thought dying would be a quick and easy ending to get. But you can see we have the ghost status, so we're stuck here. We're going. Alright. Closet, desk, scavenge, or go into the hallway. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna go for the closet. I'll open the closet. It was dark and he could only see his hanging shirts. You could probably go through the door without sufficient head trauma now. Ooh, that's true. We could probably phase through the door. Is this a text-based reventure? Yes, it is, Joe. Yes, it is. Kyle decided to take some time to choose the perfect outfit, knowing how important appearance is. Well, we went with the skunk pasties last time. This time I'm thinking... armor? I remember seeing a couple of calls for armor last go-around too, and you also were the first one to say armor. Kyle was unsure of what exactly caused him to decide to wear his armor, but it felt like the right thing to do. After much squeezing and sweating, Kyle managed to wrap the metal suit around his dumpy self. Kyle returned to the center of the bedroom. Armor's a good choice for a ghost. Now we're haunted ghost. Yes, it's 22 hours until interview at the bottom of the screen now. Every action we take is 1 hour of time. Kyle quickly crouched down on the floor, realizing his immediate need for bugs. Because I figure, like, we're a ghost haunting a suit of armor. We probably want some, like, bugs in there for the full experience. We're going to save those bugs. Kyle returned to the center of the bedroom. Open the closet, desk, exit bedroom, the hallway. So we're dressed. We have food. I'm going to go into the kitchen early, rather than repeat our desk experience. Kyle walked into the small hallway that connects the room, go to the kitchen. We didn't get to see what was in the fridge last time. Who could resist a man in a uniform, right? Alright. Open the fridge, intending to find something to eat. We have crust on fridge wall, the fridge, prepare breakfast, or eat condiments. You want condiments? You don't want to eat the entire refrigerator itself? That would include the condiments. And as a ghost, I feel like this is our only opportunity to eat an entire refrigerator without any repercussions. But if you want condiments, I'll do condiments. I'll give chat 1 second to see if they want to eat an entire refrigerator. Alright, I gotta do condiments. Eat condiments. Kyle started to grab condiments from the fridge, squirting them into his mouth with both hands. The rate at which ketchup, soy sauce, and other items entered Kyle's mouth soon overrode his ability to swallow. Kyle spewed the excess condiments across the kitchen, covering the furniture and the walls. Kyle continued until all the condiments had been emptied. Kyle walked to the center of the kitchen. Kyle wanted to access the pantry, but found it was locked with a small keyhole. Son of a bitch, now we know what the key's for. Alright, return to the hallway. Check the locked door. Float through as a ghost! Alright. Kyle used his ghostly powers to walk straight through the door. Kyle found himself in the room he stashed the various items sent to him by his fans. We have a sewing machine. Kyle walked over to the dilapidated sewing machine. Its box was only half removed. Sew bug puppets. Kyle started sewing bug puppets together to make small, actuated finger puppets. Kyle crafted a bug puppet for each finger. He named them after guests he had interviewed on his show. Kyle hurried to the set. Per normal, he ceased to be a ghost before he arrived. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. "Good evening, Kyle," she said, looking him in the eye. "I've been looking forward to being here." Kyle responded. We have scream and spin in circles or answer politely. Alright, we gonna be a polite person or a lunatic? I remind you, we're wearing a suit of armor. Alright, politely. "And I as well, Rachel," answered Kyle, extending his hand in greeting. "You are most welcome." After mild exchange of pleasantry, Kyle and Rachel were prompted to take their places for the broadcast. A moment of seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Produce bug puppets. Kyle slipped his bug puppets onto his fingers. "Hello, everybody," he said, wiggling the puppet he had named after himself. "I'm Kyle." "And I'm Rachel," Kyle screamed, wiggling a different finger. "You're so much better than me." "I know, Rachel," Kyle wiggled. He looked meaningfully at the human Rachel. Said one of Kyle's other puppets. "I'm super fat and Kyle interviewed me last week." "And I'm super irritating," said another finger, "and not very attractive." Rachel stared at Kyle, incredibly disoriented. "Kyle," she asked, "what are those puppets made of?" Kyle thrust both hands at Rachel's face. Puppets pointed at her eyes. "We aren't puppets, Rachel," he said, scrunching his fingers up and down. "We're real people." Rachel plucked the puppet that Kyle had said was her off his finger. "Kyle," she exclaimed, "this is several dead bugs patched together." "Accept us, Rachel," said Kyle, scrunching. "We need acceptance." Rachel exited her chair and walked out of frame. In a moment, she returned with a bag. She plucked each puppet off of Kyle's hands and tossed them into the bag. "Kyle, leave the bugs alone next time," she said. Rachel left the frame again, bringing the bag of puppets along with her. Infinity had a much more coherent storyline. Kyle, suddenly by himself, was unsure what to do. After a few minutes of hemming and hawing, Kyle resorted to telling jokes for the remainder of the broadcast. Fans did not notice much difference between this and previous episodes. Endings unlocked, 2 out of 25. Kyle prepared an average episode, so apparently that was an average episode. You don't just take a man's puppets like that, right? Puppets are sacred. Alright. Looping another day. Man, these go fast. It's less than 10 minutes per go-around, and that's with me hemming and hawing. Alright. So becoming a ghost got us those puppets. Let's get the key and try the pantry this time. Is there a Joker ending? It's a society. Alright, so we want to sit at the desk, check the desk drawer, take the small key. We'll also write notes for our interview, just in case. Kyle wrote down his first question. Oh no. I really thought that was a one and done writing questions down. Are you a mother? Am I a mother? Is your mother a mother? Well, there's very, very specific questions here. Which mother question should we go with? Are you a mother? Top left, says Krios. Alright, top left it is. Are you a mother? Kyle wrote down a second question. What are some diet tips? Beef, mashed or blended? Ever eaten a raw egg whole? Beef, mashed or blended, or ever eaten a raw egg whole? I'll go with beef, mashed or blended. Kyle wrote down his third question. What's your funniest story? Do you ever smile? I purposely ran over a puppy. Well, I see Joe says bottom right. It's probably for a different screen because of chat delay, but I'll listen to Joe. What's your guilty pleasure? Do you... it was also bottom right. Do you feel guilty? Are you guilty? Are you guilty? Kyle ripped his page of notes out of the notebook and got up from the desk. Kyle made his way over to his desk and sat down. Alright, I want to get into the pantry this time. Kitchen. Pantry. Unlocked with small key. The pantry door lock creaked as if it hadn't moved for years, but eventually it opened. Instead of an assortment of canned goods and grains, Kyle's pantry stored his massive amount of bottled lard. Chug a bottle of lard, grab a bottle of lard. Or do nothing with lard. Grab the lard. Kyle grabbed a bottle of lard and stashed it on his person for later use. Open the fridge. Eat the fridge! Kyle pointed his neck directly upwards and hoisted the fridge on top of his face. Somehow, miraculously, he wrapped his mouth around the device. He started to swallow. In one slow, horrible movement, the fridge slid down Kyle's throat. After many gurgles, pops, and snaps, Kyle felt relatively sure the fridge would not come back out. Kyle walked to the center of the kitchen. Alright, return. Hey, the wheel of stream spoke and it said Kyle is famous. That's what it landed on. Alright, so we've eaten. We have a bottle of lard. We got notes for the interview. And we have 4 decisions left to make. Let's leave the apartment. Kyle walked out into the middle of the road and took a long pondering look around. We can visit the downstairs neighbor, visit the tech store, or go back to our apartment. Alright, chat. Tech store? Tech store. Kyle walked into the clean, white tech store. He was greeted by Techno Jim, an elaborate cutout mascot with flashing lights. Ask attendant for free samples or steal Techno Jim. I mean, we could get free samples, or Techno Jim himself could be the free samples. I see Krios wants to ask the attendant for samples. Kyle asked the store attendant whether or not they offered any free samples to important customers. Steal Jim? I was more into stealing Jim, but I was late. The attendant gave Kyle a confused and slightly vacant look. Kyle began to beg for a free sample. Wanting Kyle to leave, the attendant grabbed a decrepit phone meant for spare parts and held it out. Grab with teeth. Well, it's time for the interview! This is always the same, so we're just gonna go. Rachel's smile quickly turned to shock as she realized Kyle had not put on clothes that day. Kyle waved and smiled broadly. Rachel uncomfortably averted her eyes. Kyle started making his rounds around the room, greeting each crew member, none of whom looked at him directly. As it became apparent that Kyle had no intention of leaving, Rachel made some excuses and exited the set. One by one, the crew followed suit. Kyle was left all alone. Alright, we gotta make sure we put on clothes, apparently. That's crucial. Otherwise, we can't see what happens as we are a man with an entire refrigerator inside of our body. Alright. Let's browse social media. Was this here the first time? I remember wither away and exit the bed. I don't recall browse social media. Kyle started to scroll through news articles on his phone. Stay Up Late with Kyle ranked number 1 and number 2 show on television. You prepared some... Yeah, we had good questions! Alright, we're gonna have to get dressed, prepare questions, and do an interview properly this time. I regret having lost the opportunity to see the questions. We're also going to just stay in bed and read news articles all day. New East Bridge being constructed after being found to not actually exist. Authorities investigating. Another grand larceny and crime spree streak. Evidence points to perpetrator fleeing the country. Rachel May to unexpectedly leave the country on very, very, very long vacation after interview tonight. Who is the bug vigilante? Recently spotted pursuing larcenists. Kyle fails to show up to several charity events. Bug Vigilante shows up to charity events with fresh baked pastries. Donations flourish. Hot dogs making resurgence as fuel source for both humans and tugboats. Phone model recall. Techno gym stores blame overuse by customers. Kyle's phone exploded in his hands from overuse. Get out of bed. Kyle exits his bed and took a quick glance around. Oh man, we only have 18 hours left. We stayed in bed for too long. Are you guilty is a good question to ask. Yeah, now we know it's actually a good question to ask. Do we have enough time to prepare our questions? All right, sit at desk. Write notes. All right, are you a mother? Just gonna go with our question set from last time. Do you ever smile? That's new. What's your funniest story? Ooh. These are slightly different things. All right, are you guilty? Back to desk. All right, we need to eat a food. The pantry has the bugs. We don't need the bugs. So back to room. All right, we gotta go. Into the kitchen. Gotta eat food. Prepare breakfast. Kyle constructed a breakfast of poached eggs and toast, along with a small fruit cup and grilled sausage. Eat. Shit, we're naked. Creedmoor, you're right. We gotta go back to our room. Kyle ate his breakfast slowly. Oh, that's... Oh. Ugh. I don't like that sound. Kyle ate his breakfast slowly and thoughtfully, enjoying every bite. He felt refreshed. We have 5 hours, 4 hours. Hallway. Bedroom. Closet. Outfit. Slick suit. We did it. We're dressed and we ate food. We're good. Is Rachel gonna pull a Joker? It's possible. Alright, under the wire, we got dressed. Alright, we've seen all this before. Answer politely. And I as well, Rachel, answered Kyle, extending his hand in greeting. You are a most welcome guest. After other mild exchanges of pleasantries, Kyle and Rachel were prompted to take their places for the broadcast. A moment of seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras came on. Alright, we get to see our questions in action. Good evening, everyone, said Kyle, looking at the camera. Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle. Tonight I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction. Kyle motioned to Rachel, who smiled and waved at the camera. Hello, Kyle, she said. I'm glad to be here. Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss, so we might as well dive right in, said Kyle. I'm very ready, said Rachel with a winning smile. Kyle produced the notes he had taken earlier. All right. Obviously, we want to hit the are you guilty, but we want to lure Rachel into a false sense of security, so we should open up with some easy softballs. Are you a mother? Rachel, I and many others would love to know, are you a mother? Kyle looked up from his notes. Well, being a single woman with a career, she answered, that's not something that has crossed my mind.
Hello there.
Rachel smiled genuinely at Kyle. Start with the story, hit her with the beef. Very reasonable indeed, said Kyle. He referenced his paper of questions. All right. So we're going to do the story. Beef, are you guilty? You've been involved in a lot of different things, said Kyle, but what's your funniest story? Well, that's a great question, Kyle, said Rachel. I think the story I always remember is the first time I tried to make dinner for my family. In the soup I made, I swapped out water with milk and tipped the whole jar of salt in the pot. While my family was sick from trying to eat it, I swiped their things and locked myself in my room. Rachel laughed elegantly. Kyle decided to move on. All right, beef, mashed or blended. Sausage, how's it going, Sausage? A burning question from fans, said Kyle. Beef, do you prefer it mashed or blended? Rachel answered quickly and honestly. Mashed. And no more was said on that matter. Kyle asked another question. Are you guilty? Rachel, are you guilty? Kyle threw his questions on the floor, stood up. Are you guilty? And pointed at her. Rachel's eye twitched slightly. Guilty of what, dear Kyle? She said, smiling disingenuously. Guilty, spat Kyle, of your crimes. Rachel... All right, some heavy breathing going on here. Rachel did not answer. Her eyelids both started twitching uncontrollably. All right, we could follow through or we could straight up call the police. Police! Oh no, our phone's broken. So loud, Kyle pulled out his phone and dialed the police. Hello, police, said Kyle. I believe I found a criminal. It's so loud. Please hold. I can't think. Where's Kyle's famous? I gotta lower this thing. Good lord, that was shockingly loud and very unexpected. Rachel began to run toward the exit. On her way, she swatted Kyle's phone out of his hands. Tripper. Kyle stuck out his leg. Rachel stumbled and crashed to the floor. But in a moment, she was on her feet. She drew a blunt weapon, seemingly out of thin air, and started to swing at Kyle. Before Kyle had a chance to react, a figure burst through the roof and blocked Rachel's attack. It was a middle-aged woman in a bug-shaped mask. She was brandishing a bug-shaped stick. The woman began to fight with Rachel, flicking her weapon back and forth with surprising speed. Rachel tried to fight back, but it was obvious she was no match for her interceptor. With one quick move, the bug vigilante drew her foot high above her head and drove it straight into Rachel's hand. The weapon clattered to the floor. Rachel attempted to run again, but was met with a stick to her legs. She fell at the feet of the police officer, just arriving from Kyle's call. I guess my phone wasn't broken. No, it blew up, remember? My phone blew up in the beginning. There's a broken phone icon up here. Rachel was charged with 7 cases of grand larceny. After her first month in jail, Rachel started a reality TV show filmed in her cell about prison cooking. The show gained immense popularity, and somehow the public began to love Rachel all the more. Kyle made a guest appearance on Rachel's show many times. The identity of the bug vigilante was never known. She remained a mysterious but important part of local law enforcement. You can still call 911 for a broken phone. I know if you have a phone that doesn't have a provider but still works, 911 will ignore, if you're out of minutes, it'll still work and stuff like that. Emergency calls ignore a lot of reasons why your phone wouldn't call, but exploding is not one of them, I don't think. Rachel started a new show. Alright, social media was fun. Trying to think of other things we haven't done yet. Oh, let's steal that dude. Alright. Exit bed. Open the closet. Choose an outfit. Jeans and swimming goggles today. He could barely see on the goggles. We might want to eat food? No, that's not a broken phone symbol, that's just a symbol. I don't know what that means. Reveal the identity of Bugman. I mean, if you know how to do that, we can try and do it. I'm trying to steal the tech building's mascot. So let's go ahead and scavenge for bugs and eat them. Kyle threw back his head and crammed the sticky, wriggling mass into his mouth. He felt refreshed. Alright, we've eaten food. We're dressed. So let's go outside. Let's leave the apartment. Alright. Oh, we could do the identity of Bugman. We could definitely do the Bugman thing. But let's do the tech store's steel techno gym bit. Ooh, give review a free sample. Damn it, there's a new thing here. Alright, let's review our free sample. This phone, said Kyle, is several years old and has exposed wires coming out the back. Kyle continued, the phone also has had screen issues after I used it to hammer nails into the wall for a painting. Furthermore, when I is submerged in water, I get severely shocked until it runs out of battery. The attendant looked at Kyle, pursed his lips, and said nothing. Feeling he had made his argument, Kyle decided to leave. Kyle walked out into the middle of the road and took a long, pondering look around. Damn it. Yes, steal Techno Jim! Quickly, before the attendant could acknowledge him, Kyle grabbed Techno Jim by the shoulders. Finding that Techno Jim's cardboard feet were bolted to the ground, Kyle started to pull upwards forcefully. After several tugs, Techno Jim broke free, leaving one foot and one leg behind. Kyle glanced at the attendant, who was staring, bewildered, and ran outside. All right. Jimmy! How's it going, Jimmy? Visit downstairs neighbor. Kyle approached his downstairs neighbor's door and knocked. A middle-aged woman named Gabby answered the door. She looked at Kyle expectantly. Greet and start conversation. Good morning, neighbor, said Kyle cheerfully. Gabby looked at Kyle expectantly. This is Kyle is Famous, a game that does not appear to have a Twitch game category, so it's just still listed as Animal Crossing, I guess? Good morning, neighbor, said Kyle cheerfully. Gabby looked at Kyle expectantly. Ask Gabby about Rachel. Ask Gabby about Gabby. Gabby, asked Kyle, tell me about yourself. Gabby stiffened. Oh, you know, she said, putting on a fake smile. I just sit around here. We don't have time to uncover your dark secret that you're in fact the bug vigilante. We have to go and have our interview with Rachel. Yes. All right, good evening, Kyle, she said, looking him in the eyes. I've been looking forward to being here. Kyle roughly shoved Rachel out of her seat and placed Techno Jim in her stead. Hello, Techno Jim, said Kyle. I'm going to interview you today. Kyle grasped Techno Jim's hand and tried to shake it, but instead tore it off. Tore it off the cardboard frame. Kyle's producer, sensing viral media, pulled the bewildered Rachel out of frame and motioned to the crew to go live. You're getting frustrated at expert Terraria and a certain boss you're having trouble with? Stop playing on expert and enjoy yourself in not expert mode. Once you stop having fun, it's not worth it anymore. Cameraman moved, lights flashed, and suddenly the studio was on air. Hi, I'm Kyle, said Kyle, and tonight I'm going to interview a very special guest. He pointed at Techno Jim using the dismembered arm. Techno Jim started to smoke from the heat of the lights. Would you like to introduce yourself? Asked Kyle. Knowing Jim would probably not speak, Kyle took it upon himself to be his voice as well. Hi, Kyle, he said, raising the pitch of his voice. My name is Rachel May, and I'm a very special guest. Rachel's expression of confusion turned to shock. Well, Rachel, you look way too thin and absolutely terrible, and you should feel ugly. Kyle gave Jim a meaningful stare. Wow, Kyle. I sure wish I could look like you. Techno Jim burst into flames. Instantaneously, the sprinkler system initiated. Curtains of water poured down from the rafters. Within seconds, the production equipment was doused in water. The set was soon aburst with electrical fires. Kyle's crew abandoned their posts as cameramen and sound mixers tried to put out the fires. As the crew scrambled, the cameras continued to run. Kyle sat, motionless, staring forward. Eventually, the fires were all put out. Kyle's producer shut off the broadcast, leaving Kyle's vacant stare as the final frame. Kyle's ratings skyrocketed. Techno Jim became a staple on the show, often ending with the destruction of the entire studio by the end of the episode. Although Rachel did not come back to the show, her cardboard portrayal did. Rachel was very popular. Interviewed Rachel. Well, that's 5 out of 25 endings. You know you'll feel good when you finish? Techno Jim became Mr. Bill. Oh no! That's true. When you finally overcome a challenge, it is very satisfying. Alright, what have we not done? Expose the vigilante. Let's expose the vigilante. Exit bed. Open the closet. Choose an outfit. Suit of armor. Alright, we're ready for potential combat. Now let's go ahead and... What else do I need? Food. Move to kitchen. All right, scavenge for gossip. All right, we're gonna eat the crust on the fridge wall. Kyle started scraping the streaks of crud and spots of black mold off the walls of his fridge. After balling up the filth from the sides of the fridge, Kyle bit into the crusty, moist ball. Several minutes of chewing later, Kyle finished chewing and swallowed the ball whole. Kyle walked to the center of the kitchen. All right, back to our room. Scavenge for gossip. All right. Besting trial the sword did feel good. Yes. Yeah, overcoming challenges is important. I always like, as long as you're having fun, that's good. When you stop having fun, you get frustrated. If you keep on flowing with that feeling, even when you do overcome it, you'll just be like, well, at least I'm not angry anymore. Yeah, once she admits that she does that, yep, fights misdoers. A door opened and someone exited the neighbor's apartment. Kyle returned to the bedroom. All right, now we need to go outside and visit our neighbors. Good morning, neighbor, said Kyle cheerfully. Gabby looked at Kyle expectantly. Ask Gabby about being a vigilante. Gabby, asked Kyle, are you the bug vigilante? For a moment, Gabby looked stunned, but then she realized his seriousness. Gabby nodded once. The door shut in Kyle's face. Kyle hurried to the set. Just not being the boss is frustrating. All right, as long as you're okay. As long as you're having fun at some level. Good evening, Kyle, she said, looking at eyes. Been looking forward to being here. Scream and spin in circles. We haven't done this one yet, but I also want to talk about the bug vigilante. So we're going to answer politely. We're going to shake hands. We're going to start the broadcast. Now we're going to gossip about our neighbor. Good evening, everybody, said Kyle. My neighbor is a bug vigilante. With nothing more to say on the matter, he fell silent. Rachel, also on camera, stared at her hands and wondered when she was going to be introduced. The producer started cutting the different camera angles to break the tension. Kyle continued to remain silent and stare forward blankly. After several minutes, neighbor Gabby walked out onto the set. Hi, everyone, she said, smiling hollowly. My name is Gabby, and I am not a bug vigilante. False. Kyle looked at Gabby and then returned to staring forwards. Gabby began to reply, but was interrupted by a bug-shaped intercom on her belt. Bug girl, it squawked. A robbery is in progress on East 3rd. Report immediately. Gabby threw the intercom on the ground and crushed it under her foot. After a beat, she spoke again. Something has come up suddenly, and I must go. Gabby left the set. Well, said Kyle. That's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for joining us, Rachel. Kyle got up, shook Rachel's hand again, and walked past the cameras, leaving her alone. Not knowing what else to do, the producer ended the broadcast. In the coming days, fans of both Rachel and Kyle dubbed this show a masterpiece of television. Stay up late with Kyle's online pages were updated to reflect this broadcast as the most popular ever. Kyle's producer later tried to have Rachel on the show again, but she was very, very, very busy. Kyle talked about Gabby. I do want to try screaming on camera. The only problem with games like this, and this happened with Reventure as well, is the beginning moments are always the same. So even though you're looking for new content, you have to go through a lot of samey things. A lot. One of my favorite games is a game called Long Live the Queen, which is like a pseudo princess raiser. And that one has a button that's just like, click this if you want to automatically skip anything you've seen before, which it makes it a lot faster. But it still has the general problem that you're going through a lot of content over and over and over again, trying to get the different variations. All right, exit the bed. Open the closet. I'm going to go back into the swimming goggles because I think we could probably find a way to get into a body of water at some point. A princess raiser. Like, literally, there is a genre of video game that is about raising a princess. Usually, so they become a queen, or they become, like, a magical person of some kind, but it's basically, like, imagine a dating sim, but the dating part is not important. It's more about, like, just increasing stats and going through challenges with a specific character. They're named after, I think the original game that it's named after is, like, Princess Raiser 1. Alright. So, we've done notes. We have to scream at her. We did the Gabby neighbor. I want to get like outside as quick as we can here. So maybe let's not even eat food. Let's just like go outside and see what there is to do. Leave apartment. There's only downstairs neighbor and tech store. Maybe we can have more conversation. No, we have to listen in first. Let's ask about Rachel. Gabby, Kyle asked, what are your true thoughts about Rachel May? Oh, Rachel, Gabby said, she's a wonderful woman. Her generous acts have inspired more good work than bad. Gabby trailed off, not meeting Kyle's eyes. After several uncomfortable minutes of silence, Kyle turned around and left. Princess Razor. It's for when you gotta shave like a princess. I think we're like mostly done with outdoor things. Like Tech Store gave us a phone and the cardboard cutout. There's not much we could do there. I guess this is mostly exploratory. Let's eat food. Eat the whole fridge. There's that good noise I like so much. Sit at desk. Write notes. Am I a mother? Ever eaten a raw egg whole? I purposely ran over a puppy. What's your guilty pleasure? Alright, we'll try screaming instead of introducing herself. Go back to room. Just, like, skip straight through until we get to the introduction here. Scream and spin in circles. Kyle started to stretch out his arms wide, tilted his neck upwards, and was interrupted by his producer telling him that it was time to start the show. Romano, thank you so much for that subscription. Holy cow, 3 months already indeed. It's been 3 whole months already. That's so fast. But thank you so much for resubbing. It's much appreciated. Yes! Gotten the change from the desk, Krios, thank you. We'll have to go for that one quick. Your cat is decked out? You talking about your calico in Monster Hunter, or are you talking about a different kind of cat? A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Good evening, everyone, said Kyle, looking at the camera. Welcome to Stay Up Late with Kyle. Kyle vomited all of the horrible things he had eaten earlier onto the floor. Rachel looked at Kyle, concerned, gave a couple of coughs, and decided to play it cool and keep the show running. Oh yeah, your subcat has his monocle and his mustache. I see what you're saying. Yes, he gets more fancy as things go on. Yes, Palico. Thank you, Palico. Oh yeah, Tech Store if we had money. Good idea. Kyle stopped, then vomited again, then continued with a shaky voice. Tonight I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction. Kyle motioned to Rachel, who smiled and waved at the camera. Hello, Kyle, she said. I'm glad to be here. Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss, so we might as well dive right in, said Kyle. I'm very ready, said Rachel with a winning smile. Kyle produced the notes he had taken. Ever eaten a raw egg whole? Shell and all, asked Rachel. Kyle continued. I have, like a lot. It's really bad though, so sometimes I spit it back up. There was silence. Actually, it gets easier the more you do it, continued Kyle without losing momentum. So don't start, I say. Rachel chose not to answer and looked in another direction. Am I a mother? Rachel, am I a mother? Kyle looked at her very seriously. Rachel was visibly very unsure of how to respond. Well, Kyle, I think you might be a better source of answering that question than I am. But do you think I'm a mother? Asked Kyle, pushing further. Rachel paused for a second before answering. I think you inspire youth to pursue STEM fields, she answered. Kyle asked another question. We all have one. What's your guilty pleasure? Oh, well, that's an easy answer, said Rachel. Dipping pickles in chocolate sauce. It might sound strange, but it's tangy and sweet at the same time. I eat it far too often, Rachel smiled sweetly. Kyle asked another question. Hey, I ran over a puppy on purpose, said Kyle. Everyone in the studio froze. Kyle spread his hands out wide. It's a joke! He started laughing from the bottom of his stomach. Nobody laughed with Kyle. Several minutes later, he stopped laughing and moved on. After reading his final question, Kyle looked up from his paper. Well, Rachel, he said, I think that's all I was planning on asking you. If that's the case, Kyle, may I ask you something in return? Asked Rachel, smiling one more time. Why exactly did you decide to wear swimming goggles today? Because we live in a society, Rachel! Before Kyle could answer, the camera shut down. The broadcast was over. Kyle returned home, knowing the interview had gone well. But as he lay in bed and drifted to sleep, he felt that, perhaps, something was still missing. Kyle prepared very well. 7 out of 25. Alright, let's take that money. We all need that Kyle confidence. Alright, exit the bed. Sit at the desk. Check the desk drawer. Alright, flashlight. There might be stuff in the closet we can't see. That's the problem with these kind of games, is they get very samey because you have to go through the same beats to get to the new stuff. It's frustrating, even though I do find the writing amusing. I had the same problem with Reventure, where toward the end of Reventure it was like, we got 3 endings left, we just gotta just gotta go, gotta try and find them. My god! Thank you for gifting that sub to Ultimate Noob, Ramino. Noob, welcome back to the land of the subbies. Alright, I'm gonna go with the flashlights and then the closets. Kyle grabbed the flashlight, but after jiggling the switch, he found it was out of batteries. Damn it! Desk drawer. Assorted change. Back to desk. Back to room. Let's go straight outside. I know we're naked. Tech store. Buy batteries with change. Hey. Celebrate. Yeah, celebrate with all those dingusies. I might resubmit one of those, but swap them so they're facing the other direction, because we have so many that face to the right and only one that faces to the left. So I'm thinking maybe the heart eyes one can face left, so we can split the difference a little bit, have a little bit more variety. Croaker, how's it going, Croaker? How's your D&D game? Buy batteries. Kyle counted out $1.98 pennies and nickels and traded them for a small packet of batteries. Insert in the flashlight. Alright. We gotta go to the street. We gotta go back to the apartment. We have to go back to our room. Into the closet. Alright. It was dark. He could only really see his hanging shirts. Inspect the flashlight. Kyle shined his flashlight into his moist, cave-like closet that had not seen light in years. After several minutes of searching around with the light, Kyle saw something unusual in the back. A small metal box with a large red button sat in the back, stamped with a travel time label. Travel time? I mean, obviously we're going to just immediately do it. Kyle, bored of the situation, mashed the button, hardly reading the label above. The box hummed and shook, the outside metal grew hot and slowly curved in on itself. In a moment, it was early in the morning. Kyle had gained several hours of preparation time. Oh my. From the closet. Choose an outfit. Suit of armor. More. Alright, we're in the suit of armor. I guess we could go and eat food and then do it again? Sit at the desk. Check the drawer. Nope, nothing there. Back to desk. Write notes. Is your mother a mother? What are some diet tips? Do you ever smile? Do you feel guilty? Oh yeah, we could take the lard. Or just eat the lard. We've definitely entered the, I don't know what's new, what gets us new content anymore zone. We've hit the midway point of, well, we haven't hit the midway point. We're almost at the midway point. Regardless, I don't know what to do anymore. I guess we'll go for lard. Back to room. So for lard, we need to get into the pantry, right? Yeah. So unfortunately, sit at desk. Drawer, key. Back to room. Back to hallway. Back to kitchen. Check the pantry. Unlock with key. Look in pantry. Shit, I wanted to grab a bottle of light. Kyle voraciously grabbed the closest bottle, snapped the neck against the wall, and sucked out all of the fat within a minute. Kyle wildly sucked out another bottle. He felt very sick. Kyle's vomit and the lard were mixing in a way that made it hard to tell which was which. As Kyle finished the last bottle of lard, he felt a wave of accomplishment come over him. Well, that was gross. Alright. Just gonna skip through all of the samey bits. Good evening, everyone! Kyle vomited all the horrible things he had eaten. Show kept running, vomited again. We've already seen vomit when we ate the entire fridge. Wonderful mental image. Become Rachel May? We haven't done that before, have we? Can't remember if we've done this one. We pretended the thing was. Well, let's just become Rachel May and see what happens. However, said Kyle, suddenly dipping his voice, Rachel May is not sitting next to me. She is not new to the show. She did not walk in before me. In fact, said Kyle, I am Rachel May. Rachel looked at Kyle, confused, and silently mouthed the words, You are who? Kyle stood up quickly and threw his arms high above him, pointing upwards. I have never been Kyle! Oh, Ramino, thank you for the bitty bits. He shouted, I have never been the host of the show Stay Up Late with Kyle. Kyle looked and pointed directly at the camera. I am here for but one reason, to interview myself. CJ, how's it going? Needs more Glenn. I don't know who Glenn is, CJ. Kyle sat down in his chair and went to produce the notes he had taken earlier. Kyle read the first question on his list. Is your mother a mother? Kyle responded, no, because I am my mother. And, continued Kyle, I am your mother, and everyone's mother, and also Rachel and Kyle, and I'm also your children, and that woman you met in the coffee shop yesterday, and your high school best friend. And I'm your friends, and I'm that person next to you, and I'm also you. Kyle waved his arms around and smiled. Nobody seemed to understand. It's a magic trick, shouted Kyle happily. I'm everyone now. Kyle caught up and happily danced out of the studio, arms spread wide. Although not taken seriously at first, sociologists quickly found that Kyle's claims were true. Somehow, magically, Kyle became everyone, and nobody else technically existed anymore. After a massive amount of study, it was found that Kyle had stumbled upon a very unexpected sociological loophole. Nobody really knew what to do with this newfound discovery, so they decided to do nothing. Weatherbound! How's it going, Weatherbound? Kyle continued to be theoretically everyone, and everybody continued to be theoretically non-existent. It was a strange time to be alive. Alright, Kyle was everyone. Trying to think what we could do. We only have 3 minutes left in this experience. What have we not done yet? You're a big fan of seeing Dingus pop out of the box? Thank you. That's why we have him pop out of the box. Baba is Kyle. Exit the bed. Alright, we've done the flashlight. We could take the time machine with us this time. So, sit at desk. Check the drawer. Grab the flashlight. You're going to Florida? Alright, let's go ahead and grab the assorted change. Back to room. Open the closet. Choose an outfit. Select suit. Back to room. Exit the hallway. Leave the apartment. Visit the tech store. Buy batteries. Insert into flashlight. Back to tech shop. Street. Apartment. Bedroom. Closet. Flashlight. Take box for later. Kyle stashed the device for later use. Alright. We've gotten our time machine. We're dressed. We haven't eaten food yet. I don't think we have time for that. We're gonna try, though. Hallway. Kitchen. Fridge. Nope, couldn't get the food in time. We've seen all this text before. Answer politely, shake hands. Alright, broadcast. Yes, alright, time travel with Rachel. It's really hot in July. Yeah, why are you going down to Florida? Alright, time travel with Rachel, baby. Good evening, everyone, said Kyle. Tonight, Rachel and I will travel through time together. In one motion, Kyle grabbed Rachel's arm and pressed the red button on the time machine with his elbow. Kyle and Rachel were sent back to time. A time before human existence on Earth. They were standing next to a large lake. There was a forest behind them, full of singing birds. Lizards were everywhere. Kyle, dear, said Rachel, stern but not angry, you can't just do things like that. Rachel began digging in the dirt, looking for small, smooth stones. I'm sorry, Rachel, said Kyle. I got a bit ahead of myself. Kyle began helping, looking for stones. Well, it's okay, Kyle. I forgive you. Rachel took Kyle's stones and started to build a small stack on the ground. It's a good game, says the tiny child. Kyle silently began sifting through the sand near the lake to find pure mud. Well, since we're here together, said Rachel, using nearby sticks to build a pyramid around the rocks. How are you? Oh, I'm fine, said Kyle, sticking pieces of shale together with the mud. I've been preparing for your interview all day. Rachel began to bundle nearby foliage into a small power cell. Do you love being famous? She asked. Kyle used bones from the dead fish ashore to start crafting some energy capacitors. That's an interesting question, Rachel, he answered. There's ups and downs. How about yourself? I think I'd love to be unknown with a loving family, said Rachel. Being recognizable gets very lonely. Rachel started grabbing live birds as they flew by to make a nuclear reactor. I understand that incredibly well, said Kyle, extracting pure hydrogen from the lake using a reed siphon. There was a warm understanding between them. A warm, understanding silence between them, even. After a few minutes, Kyle broke the silence. Can you pass me the arc welder when you're done? I need to weld these bioreactive plates together. Soon the pair constructed a janky but workable return time machine. As they climbed in, Rachel and Kyle looked at each other. Both knew they had bonded. With the flick of a switch, the whir of an engine made out of beaver pelts and some pops, the duo returned home. Later that evening, back at his apartment, Kyle thought about the time he had spent with Rachel. He was glad they had gotten the chance to take a trip together. Kyle and Rachel took a trip. We got 9 out of 25 endings in 1 hour, so it's like less than 10 minutes per ending. You could run through this. Too slow, I'm sorry. I wasn't fast enough. I was going for the world record. How are there 16 more endings? There must be a lot of combinations we haven't anticipated.